Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is the start of a new reading vlog, but this one's gonna be like 3 weeks before you see it, maybe even 4 weeks. But I have seen a lot of booktubers doing the mytbr.co recommendation service and seeing if they get your taste right or not. You fill out this profile about you and your reading tastes, and they recommend 3 books for you. You can either pick to have just the recommendations, or you can pick to have them send you 3 books. But I'm just doing the recommendations so we can test out how mytbr.co, how good of a service it is. It's gonna kind of be like the Goodreads TBR, testing Goodreads. I have no idea what I named it yet. I just finished filming it. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I already filmed this part when I originally filled out my profile, but it did not work. Well, technical issues. So we're gonna just go through it really quick. It asks for your all-time favorite books. So I put Where the Red Fern Grows, The Fifth Wave, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Renegades, every Riley Sager book. One Was Lost, 5 Total Strangers, and 6 Months Later by Natalie D. Richards, The Fault in Our Stars, and A Walk to Remember. Helter Skelter, The Fill-In Boyfriend, By Your Side, and House Rules. So a lot of range there. Any books that I hated: The Silent Wife, Radio Silence, I didn't even finish, The Fortunes of Indigo Sky, 13 Reasons Why, 99 Days, which I ranted about last month. I'm still mad about that. The Troop. I had such high hopes for The Troop, and it just didn't work out. Then it asks for your favorite TV shows and movies. So I put Law and Order SVU, Last Man Standing, Catfish, New Girl, How I Met Your Mother, Charmed, and Life Unexpected. Some of my favorite movies are Friends with Benefits, Sleeping with the Enemy, Stepmom, 2 Weeks Notice, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, The Proposal, Mr. Popper's Penguins, Zookeeper, and Raising Helen. And then any type of content you'd like your bibliologist to warn you about. I can speak. A little body horror is okay, but I read The Troop and that was too much, along with Wilder Girls. No. Oh my gosh. He thinks it's his show, as always. Any type of content that are deal breakers for you. For me, I can't deal with like kidnapping or where the main focus has to do with child harm. Like, yeah, it just doesn't sit well with me. What is your preferred reading format? I kept that blank because I'm not buying the books through them. I'm just getting the recommendations. Then, what are your favorite genres? So, I kinda was hoping to get mystery, thriller, or horror from them. So those were the top 3. Then I put contemporary, including hard-hitting contemporary romance or dystopian. I haven't had a good dystopian in a long time. I feel like that was back in like 2010. But it's one of my favorites still, even though I haven't read many in a long time. Anything you want to explore more, slasher, horror, new adult or adult books. I'm kind of hoping not to get as many YA books because I read a lot of YA books, so I kind of want to expand my mind a little bit. The last few books you really loved, again, it's kind of same as my all-time favorites, only it's like Pretty Little Wife, The Kiss Quotient, The Unhoneymooners. Oh, I really loved The Unhoneymooners. I read that twice, back to back, just because I loved it so much, which I hardly ever reread, and if I do, it's like spaced out. But that one was just so good, I had to go for a second time. One of Us is Lying, All Your Twisted Secrets, Royals, None Shall Sleep, Renegades, and Five Total Strangers. Then I said to kind of mix it up a little bit in the range, because you can keep it familiar or spice it up. I kind of put it in the middle, so hopefully it'll be like a little bit of what I really want and something new to me, maybe. Are you looking for recommendations on a certain theme? I put slasher horror because I've been really in a cheesy slasher mood lately. I don't know what that says about me. Something with a podcast element or a road trip or a game. I love books with a game as part of the plot. Anything else you want them to know? I really love action-packed books better than slow simmer books. I am more of a plot-driven reader than a character-driven reader. And then I shared my Goodreads profile with them. I was not planning on filming right now. Clearly, I am ready for work, even have my mask on. However, I have an email from Tailored Book Recommendations for recording. Alright, your pigeon is ready. View recommendations. Oh no, it's on the wrong screen. Let's see if we can pull it over. There we go. Recommendation letter. Hi, Alita! Welcome to the fold. I was so excited to see what kind of books you're looking for because we have a lot of the same favorites. I love dark and edgy, fast-paced books. Good, that's what I love. And I think summer is the best time for reading those. So that's what I've got for you. I've got a ton to tell you about them, so I'll jump right in. Teen Killers Club. For an absolutely ridiculous and fun and somehow kind of romantic slasher horror, I'm enthusiastically, kind of aggressively shoving this book right at you. Seriously, it's so good. It's like summer camp plus secret government assassin program plus backstory mystery. All the things that IMO, I don't know what that means. IMO make for an amazing summer read. Signal is a teen accused of killing her best friend in a horribly brutal murder, and she scores a Class A distinction of her conviction personality test, which means she's going to a high security facility for other underage Class A's.
But when she gets there, she realizes it's not a facility that actually exists to the outside world, and it seems the government is training these Class A's to use them as their own weapons instead. If that wasn't bad enough signal as well, pretty sure she didn't actually kill her best friend. Or did she? Definitely some gruesome descriptions in this one. Okay, I'm excited for that. Slay by Brittany Morris. Is this what I think it is? It is! Okay, so I've heard of this one. Okay, when I first read this book, it totally surprised me how complex and layered it was. Dealing with both a mystery and complex current racial issues, which is great. Kira is an honor student, one of the only black students at her school, and she feels the pressure to succeed constantly. She also has huge ambitions for her career. At night, she plays an online game called Slay, a role-playing card game for black gamers. Her secret? She created the game, but no one knows it. No one knows it. Not her sister, not her boyfriend, not her parents. When real-world violence begins because of actions that happen in the game, Kira begins to question her creation and her next steps, both for the game and her own life. I learned so much from this book and also was gifted with a fast-paced story, so I think it's perfect pick for you. That one's been on my radar, so I'm excited. Okay, and then the last one is actually one that I own and that I've read, so I'm kind of disappointed. Like, I Killed Zoe Sopranos by Kit Frick. But you would think I linked my Goodreads and everything, so for $15 or $16, I wanted 3 new to me books, not one that I've already read. So that is a bit disappointing. Don't get me wrong, I Killed Zoe Sopranos by Kit Frick is an amazing book. I highly, highly recommend it. But I read it in January. I think I read it in January or February, so it was very recent. Ooh, okay, so Slay is the one I thought it was. I Killed Zoe Sopranos is one that I've read, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. And Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks. That's the cover. Okay, well, I will see you guys later when I've obtained the 2 books. But it is kind of disappointing that the 3rd one is one that I own and have read and love. I mean, I really do like it, so they know my taste, but... Hey friends, so it's been several weeks since I updated this vlog. This is probably one of my longest projects to date on this channel. Come here. So, Jellybean is here, of course, but I wanted to gather the books for this vlog before I started reading them. So, I'm still frustrated with the tailored book recommendation service because I connected my Goodreads, and you can see everything that I've ever read on Goodreads. So if I wouldn't have connected my Goodreads and I would have got a book that I've already read, I wouldn't be so upset. I mean, I'd still be kind of bummed, but they had my Goodreads. They should have been able to do their homework and see that I've already read one of the 3 recommendations that they had for me. So I already feel like the tailored book recommendation service is not very good. However, that book was I Killed Zoe Sopranos by Kit Frick, which I read in January and I absolutely adored. It's a YA thriller about Zoe Sopranos, who goes missing, and then I think the following year, this girl who looks just like her, or very, very close to her, moves to that town where this girl went missing, and it's like a small town mystery of what happened to Zoe Sopranos and what, if anything, does this girl have to do with it. And then there's like this podcast element trying to help locate Zoe Sopranos, and blue sprayed edges. I already know that I love this book because I've read it, and I really, really did like it. So maybe I shouldn't be so upset, but the fact is that I made a profile and I connected all the social medias like the Goodreads where this book is on there. So I am disappointed because I only have 2 books to read, and I feel like $16 for 2 book recommendations. Then I have to go find the books on my own. You know, it's not really that great. So this first one, I was just gonna borrow from the library for both of these books, but this first one is nowhere to be found. This one took me so long to hunt down, and that is Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks. It's a pretty interesting cover. Okay, and then this, the third book that they found for me, I actually could find on Libby. So this one I'm just gonna listen to as an audiobook. That's probably what we're gonna be doing today. Play by Brittany Morris. Ready Player One meets The Hate U Give. Okay, I was so angered by The Hate U Give, but I really enjoyed it. I was angered because it represents our society so well, and that breaks my heart. Ready Player One was not for me. I didn't love it. I'm gonna start with Slay, and then next we will read this. I'm not gonna read I Killed Zoe Sopranos again, not yet. I read it in January, and I really, really enjoyed it, but I'm still very, I'm very sad that they didn't look at my Goodreads, even though I connected it. I finished Slay. I know I was supposed to update you at the halfway mark, but I just got so into the story. It was a little bit slow for my liking and everything, but it was very hard hitting, and the ending was just wonderful. Like, it was great. So I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars, which is good for this video. Like, I guess we can trust them so far. Tailored book recommendations. And then this is the last book we have left for this reading vlog, Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks. I'm really excited to read this one. However, I have work in a little bit, in a few hours, but I don't really want to start a new book yet. I have a different book that I'm currently reading. I want to finish that one today, hopefully before work. And I'm either going to start this tomorrow or the day after, because I work crazy hours the next 2 days. So I might not update you for a few days. I apologize. But so far, I think tailored book recommendations, I'm still mad that they picked a book that I've read, but it is a book that I love. So I don't know how mad I can be. It's just that I paid for 3 book recommendations and technically I only got 2. This one was a little bit slow, and I really didn't like the video game elements because I kind of knew going into it that I wouldn't like the video game elements. I've read a couple books that have that element and it kind of just takes me out of the story and like I just don't love it, which is weird because I used to play video games all the time. I used to love them, and then I kind of got more into YouTube instead and everything, so it would seem like I would love it, but I think it was just that I'm really picky and the games I picked were very particular games, so I just don't like that in a book. But overall, it was very enjoyable. I loved the hard-hittingness. That's not even a word. But I loved how hard-hitting it was, and the ending really, really got me. Like, I thought I knew everything, because it was written in such a way that you're supposed to think that I can't tell you because spoilers, but yeah, it was a crazy ending. It was good though. So I enjoyed this book more than I thought I would, actually. Our second and last book. I'm gonna start this. I have the audio version of it. So I really want to go to the thrift store. I just want to get out of my house for a little while. So I'm going to start that on audio, and then I'll probably finish it tonight at home. Alright, I'm back. I did go to the thrift store. While I was out, I got 127 pages into Teen Killers Club. Do you see Jelly Bean? Did anyone invite you? Come here. It's the Jelly Bean show again. Are we surprised at this point? I did get a small haul. By small, I mean like 4 books. I found 4 books at the thrift store. And let's talk about them. Let's talk about the one I wasn't sure about first. This is Eloda Strain, One True Love Twice. It's based on a book, so I think the book was written first and then the movie kind of like 5 feet apart. My girlfriend's boyfriend, Alyssa Milano, I didn't even notice that, but she's from Charmed. That is Phoebe from Charmed, and oh my god, I adore her. So I might have to actually watch this movie. That was not the plan, but Alyssa Milano, like, okay, sorry, fangirling out for a minute. Then, Revenge of the Girl with the Great Personality by Elizabeth Elbridge. First off, look at that cover. I mean, it's just lipstick, but still. Don't mess with a girl with a great personality. Everyone loves Lexi. She's popular, smart, funny, but she's never been one of those girls, the pretty ones who all get the attention from all the guys. And on top of that, her 7-year-old sister Mackenzie is a tear in a tiara, part of a pageant scene where she gets praised for her beauty. Lexi's sick of it. She's sick of being the girl who hears about kisses instead of getting them. Then there's Interference by Kay Honeyman. It's another, like, romance heavy, I guess. Maybe it's because I read all those scary books in my last vlog, which is coming out on Monday. It should be up already. I'll link it up here if it is. But I read a lot of scary stuff, so I might need, like, a pick-me-up. Love doesn't follow a game plan. You know, that's a good tagline. It kind of looks like a sports romance, which is a little out of my comfort zone, and that's kind of why I got it. So the last one is a thriller. We're back to my home roots of thrillers. Okay, you ready? No, I don't think you are. Okay, this is the author. Do you know who? Harlan Coben. The Stranger. I literally have no idea what this book is about, and I don't want to know. It's a thriller by Harlan Coben, and I've only read one book by this author, but I'm excited to read more of his backlist, so this is a good start.
Hey friends, so it is the next day and I finished Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks last night. I really enjoyed this book a lot, actually. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's a really fast-paced thriller about Class A felons or serial killers or killers, yeah, and they're teenagers, and it's YA, and it's just a lot of fun. So I gave it 4 stars. Probably more like 4.5 stars, but it was almost perfect. And then I went back and changed my rating for Slay. I liked it, but I didn't love it, so I only gave it 3 stars. It's probably verging on a 3.5 stars. It wasn't worth 4 stars for me, though. It was like average. Like, it was an okay book. Okay, so it's a little bit later. I'm going to close out this reading vlog. Can we trust tailored book recommendations? So, one of the books that I got recommended through the service was I Killed Zoe Sopranos by Kit Frick. I read this in January.
I gave it 5 stars. So technically the recommendation was good. It's a 5-star book for me. I loved it. But when I set up my profile for tailored book recommendations, I had put my Goodreads on there so they could go see what books I had read. And if they did their homework, they would know that I've already read this. And they would not have recommended it to me because I've already read it. I did this to get new book recommendations. So that was a fail on their part, but it's a great book. Then I read Slay by Brittany Morrison. Originally I gave it 4 stars, but honestly, it was like The Hate U Give meets Ready Player One. I hated Ready Player One. I hated the video game aspect of that book and of Slay, and so I'm ultimately giving it 3 stars. So, you know, it's okay. Then I finished off by reading Teen Killers Club. This was really good. This was a lot of fun, and I just enjoyed every second of it. So I'm giving it, like, I was gonna give it 4 stars, but I loved it, so I'm gonna give it 5 stars. So, technically speaking, tailored book recommendations gave me 2 5-star book recommendations, and then a not quite great one for me. But because I've already read this one, I'm calling that a fail. Like, they could have looked and saw. If I didn't put my Goodreads, then that would have been on me. But I did. I finished the profile. I connected my Goodreads, and they didn't do their homework. So that's a fail. This was a great book. So it's 1 for 1. And then Slay was 3 stars, which was, you know, like, there were parts that I really enjoyed. And I liked the overall message, but I didn't love the book. So I'm gonna say personally that I don't recommend this service, but I did find a good book, a fun one. Ultimately, it wasn't for me. It was a good video idea, but I have so many books on my TBR that I don't need help picking new books. If you're someone that's stuck on finding new books, there are other sites that if you look up a book that you like, they will give you recommendations. Goodreads for free. And I don't think this is worth it for the money that you pay for it. But I guess if you want, try it on your own. I don't recommend it though. I kind of feel like it was more of a flop than anything, but I did have fun with this video, so don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.